Adding some spice to your life is good, not only for your taste buds, but for your overall health. Spices and herbs have been used for thousands of years to treat a variety of conditions. And because they add so much flavor to your food, it makes it easier to cut back on less healthy ingredients like salt, sugar, and added fat. Think of your spice rack as your natural pharmacy in the kitchen. I'm Dr. Freddy Gomez. This is Med Talk Health Talk, where your care comes first. When we talk about herbs and spices, we don't mean the exotic ones that are pretty hard to find. Some of the best spices are right there in your kitchen and can be found in your local market. Joining the discussion are Dr. Sheridyn Oro Josef. She's a family medicine and geriatric medicine specialist and consultant at the Marikina Doctors Hospital and Medical Center. We are also joined by Dr. Candy Drilon Dalman. She's a functional and integrative medicine specialist and co-founder of Centro Holistico Wellness Clinic. Now, let's start our conversation by knowing first the difference between herbs and spices. Dr. Candy, can you help us with that? Ano ba yung mga pagkakaiba ng herbs and spices?
Well, the main difference lang naman is our herbs are the leafy parts of the plant. So yun yung mga tarragon, cilantro, parsley, yun yung usually na tinatawag natin na herbs. When it comes to the spices, these are the other parts of the plant. So usually these are the seeds, the bark, yung mas matigas na part, and it's usually dried. And then it's usually ground up. So it depends on what kind of spice you're using. So like cinnamon is a spice. Pepper, ground pepper is a spice. So yun yung mga examples. So pareho siyang pampalasa ng food, but it's really more of the part of the plant that's the difference.
Herbs and spices are typically used as natural meat tenderizers as well as seasonings to enhance the flavor of your food. But aside from these, they also provide significant health benefits. Doc Candy, what health benefits do herbs and spices usually provide?
They have a lot of antioxidant properties, and they're also, because of the compounds that are in the spices. So, galing to sa mga halaman, so they have a lot of micronutrients as well, a lot of vitamin C, E, etc. And they also provide a lot of anti-inflammatory properties. So, and taken in combination with everything, it's very good for your health.
Garlic can be found in almost every Filipino dish, and we even eat garlic chips. Doc Sherry, we're all familiar with garlic, but what are its health benefits?
Garlic has allicin, okay? So they say that the allicin is the active component, or there's a smaller component pa niyan na nakakatulong for atherosclerosis, okay? It actually decreases peripheral vascular resistance, so parang bumababa yung blood pressure natin. At the same time, it increases fibrinolytic activity. And what is this, no? Fibrinolytic meaning it may be beneficial in the prevention of thrombosis or blood clots.
Okay, so garlic does really have a lot of good properties, especially when it comes to protecting your heart. But we have to also make our viewers aware that these properties do not substitute regular medications if you do indeed have a diagnosed medical problem. Dr. Candy, can you talk about this a little bit more?
Okay, so usually when it comes to herbs and spices, like supplements in general, so from the name itself, dapat supplement lang siya to a good diet. Or for example, you already have, let's say, high blood pressure, which usually we prescribe garlic to those with high blood pressure and even those with high cholesterol. Dapat kapag mataas na talaga yung blood pressure, you take your medication and then you can add garlic to your regular diet just to help it lower down a bit. Now, eventually, if your diet is good, your diet is like healthy, tanggal lahat ng bawal, eventually you can lower down your medication, but with the guidance of your doctor. So you have to make sure also that you crush the garlic para lumabas yung na-mention ni Doc kanina na allicin, yung compound na yun. So kailangan naka-crush yung garlic or i-chop muna bago nyo iti-take in.
Okay. Now, if you enjoy spicy food, then you've probably stumbled upon this. Chili peppers. This spicy vegetable is very easy to grow and abundant all over the world. Pero Doc Candy, ano ba yung mga health advantages ng pagkain ng mga chili peppers?
Yung mga maaanghang. So yan, so chili peppers are one of the pinaka-important actually na spice na ginagamit natin because it has what we call capsaicin. So that's the active ingredient. It actually helps with weight loss. So napaka-popular nito na spice because yun, nakatulong sa weight loss. And number 2, it also has anti-inflammatory properties. So because of that active ingredient. And at the same time, it also helps dilate the blood vessels. So nakakatulong din ito para sa mga may hypertension.
Okay, and one thing about spicy food is that it is often associated also with heartburn. A lot of our viewers may worry about eating this, especially if you have problems with your heart. Kasi ang pangalan nga naman is heartburn. But heartburn has nothing to do with your heart. It has something to do mostly with the stomach acids not staying where they should be. And in fact, eating chili peppers may be what your body needs when it comes to preventing heart disease. Dr. Sherry, explain natin ito. How does chili peppers contribute to the health of someone's heart?
Actually, chili peppers, because of its anti-inflammatory effect, the same way as the other herbs, no? So nakakatulong po siya sa pagbaba ng cholesterol. So ang very with the capsaicin or capsicum is yung thermic effect niya, no? That's why it sabi ni Dr. Candy, it can help in weight loss. But at the same time, because of this anti-inflammatory effect, it can also help lower down your blood pressure.
You don't have to love spicy food to start adding chili peppers to the food you eat. You can start by adding some little by little, and over time, you may even develop a tolerance for more spicy food. The next one on our list is called holy basil, or in Tagalog, tulsi. It isn't like the sweet basil you see in marinara sauce or the Thai basil in a bowl of pho. It has a history in Indian medicine as treatment to a variety of conditions, and it's considered as a sacred herb in India. Doc Candy, what conditions can holy basil or yung tulsi treat?
One of my favorites talaga si holy basil. I was introduced to this just like 3 years ago. It's an adaptogen. So an adaptogen, it helps your body adapt to stress. So when you take it, so it actually helps your cortisol levels to balance out. So it helps really with hormone issues. And of course, dun yung mga taong highly stressed, grabe yung trabaho, they just take some tulsi, put it in their tea. Kasi it grows everywhere. Like meron kami sa labas ng bahay ng tulsi. So you can get fresh leaves, steep it in hot water and drink it as your tea. So yun, nakakatulong siya for stress levels. It also lowers down inflammation that is caused by stress.
Dr. Sherry, itong tulsi medyo mapait ito pag kinain. What's the best way to incorporate this in someone's dish?
You can also add it sa ating mga, you can crush it. No? Although papait po talaga siya, you can add it to your other, you can probably add some sugar, add some honey para medyo damp yung taste ng pait.
Now we'll talk more about herbs and spices when we come back, plus ideas for your day-to-day meals and how you can spice them up. We're together in health. You're watching MedTalk Health Talk on CNN Philippines. Did you know that there are over 100 common spices used in the cooking world? I'm Dr. Freddy Gomez, and you're watching MedTalk Health Talk on CNN Philippines. We're here to build a healthier future for you. Turmeric is best known in Indian cuisines, and it has become a trendy superfood for its ability to reduce inflammation. Dr. Sherry, how is turmeric a natural anti-inflammatory?
Principal curcumin is the one that gives beneficial effects. This is a favorite of my senior citizen patients. Most of my geriatric patients love turmeric because it has a very strong anti-inflammatory effect. So anti-inflammatory meaning all the things that are happening in our body that's causing a lot of inflammation. No? So it helps in decreasing inflammation inside the body.
Dr. Candy, what other benefits can turmeric give? I see here a lot of links to mood or depression. I also see some dermatological benefits that turmeric can give.
Yes, actually, turmeric is what we call the anti-everything in our practice because it really gives a lot of health benefits. So aside from it actually has some action similar to aspirin na nakaka-thin out siya ng blood. So we actually caution patients who are taking aspirin na we have to taper the dose of turmeric if they really need to take their aspirin. So that's one. Number two, it helps with the mood because it helps with the anti-inflammatory of the brain. So it helps lower down inflammation at the level of the brain. And then it also for the skin, we actually use this a lot for those with patients with psoriasis, with eczema, mga extremely yung mga may acne na pulang-pula because those are highly inflammatory conditions. So we use turmeric for that. So we have a certain dose. We ask them to take it and put it in their juices or in their food, but at the same time we can also give it in capsule form if they need a higher dose of the curcumin or the turmeric.
Now, the next on our list is ginger or ang luya, which is another common ingredient in Filipino cuisine. Now, we use it in dishes such as tinola, arroz caldo, or something as simple as steamed fish. It's one of the healthiest and most delicious spices on the planet. And ginger appears to be highly effective against nausea. Dr. Sherry, explain natin ito. Explain muna natin kung ano ba yung nausea and paano nakakatulong ang luya or ang ginger dito.
Okay, so nausea po, ito yung parang pagkahilo o pakiramdam na parating nasusuka, no? Yung pagkatapos natin may nakakain o meron tayong may ginagawa na para tayo medyo nasusuka, medyo tayo nahihilo. It's effect po yan ng, because there's of course a nerve from our brain to our stomach, no? That is affected, that's causing all of this. So your ginger may help because it has ang kanyang parang active ingredient is yung gingerol, if I'm not mistaken, yung 6 receptor, which actually helps in decreasing the serotonin uptake or the activity of the serotonin, which is responsible for our nausea minsan, nausea and vomiting. That's why in complementary medicine, sometimes they use this as pregnancy-induced ay mga nagsusuka sa pagbubuntis and also for post-operative anti-nausea. Before you take it, you have to consult your doctor because it depends on the causes of your nausea. If it's pregnancy-induced, there may be other factors contributing to it. So it is always best to consult your doctor before taking this medication. Do not take it by yourself.
Yes, always consult your doctor first, especially if you're pregnant. Now, Doc Candy, in the form of lozenges or candy, effective ba talaga ang ginger when it comes to sore throats?
For sore throats, it is advisable to take ginger, but I usually advise my patients to take it in tea form. So parang salabat. So pag 'di ba pag napapaos tayo, umiinom tayo ng salabat nung bata tayo, it's because it has a lot of anti-inflammatory properties similar to turmeric. So once you take it in oral form, okay siya. Ang hindi ko masyadong gusto kapag naka-candy form because it has a lot of sugar already. But there are actually some preparations that has less sugar, so you can take that as well. But as much as possible, I like giving it in salabat or tsaa.
Now, Doc Candy, a lot of people may confuse ginger and turmeric with that. What is the main difference in the two, and when would you use one as opposed to the other?
Well, in terms of katapangan or curcumin or turmeric has more anti-inflammatory properties. So it has more, it also, yun yung nag-thin out ng blood because of the active ingredient, the curcumin. Ginger has other anti-inflammatory properties pero magkaiba sila ng molecules na ginagamit. So if it's like milder inflammation, we give ginger in general. And since we use it a lot in our food, we give ginger a lot. So turmeric is really more for the mga next level inflammatory conditions.
Now, moving on to our next spice, it is cinnamon, which is a favorite household spice found in all sorts of recipes and baked goods. And this spice has a pleasant flavor and a warm smell that makes it very popular in cooking. Now, Dr. Candy, what are the health benefits naman of cinnamon?
When it comes to cinnamon, napakadami. So one, it's also good for the heart because of the anti-inflammatory properties, and it actually helps with our cholesterol levels. It helps lower our cholesterol. It also helps with our blood sugar levels kasi tinutulungan nito na ma-absorb ng mga cells natin yung sugar in our body. It helps our insulin levels. So it makes our cells more susceptible to the sugar. So mas absorb niya with using the insulin receptors.
Can cinnamon help reduce blood sugars in this case as well?
It can help definitely. So for those who are diabetic, you're already taking your medication, you can put some cinnamon in your food, like pwede sa tsaa. Some people mix it in their coffee just to get that extra boost. It's not a replacement again for your medication, but it's a good supplement to those that want to sustain the effects of their medications as well.
And just to remind our viewers again, if you decide to try any of these, especially if you have a diagnosed condition, please do talk to your doctor first before trying any of these herbs or spices. We give you some ideas for your next meal to make them tastier and help you eat healthier. Your health is our mission. This is MedTalk Health Talk on CNN Philippines. Herbs and spices can be added to almost every dish to make it tastier as well as healthier. I'm Dr. Freddy Gomez. You're watching MedTalk Health Talk on CNN Philippines. Whether you use your herbs and spices fresh or dried, you still get the health benefits. Although frying or grilling food with these may reduce the antioxidant properties. Dr. Candy, can you give us some examples of dishes with herbs and spices? What's a good way to prepare them to maximize their potential?
Okay, so when it comes to herbs and spices, it's a good thing that even if you heat it up or you cook with it, the active ingredients, hindi siya masyadong nasisira. So especially pag na-dry na siya. So that's a good thing when it comes to that. Nababawasan ng konti yung health benefits, pero hindi siya nabubura completely. Now, one of the things that I love telling my patients is how to mix turmeric in their diet because that's it's anti-everything, as I mentioned earlier. And then also when it comes to grilling your chicken, instead of, for example, you can actually put a lot of the herbs. Some of my favorite herbs for chicken is rosemary and thyme. So yun, dalawa din yun sa mga mataas yung mga antioxidant properties and anti-inflammatory properties. So you can just mix everything in your meats and then cook it, grill it. You can bake it better para mas masarap siya and mas mag-seal in pa yung flavors ng mga herbs.
Some herbs and spices are sold as supplements. And pag-usapan natin yun with Dr. Sherry. Dr. Sherry, itong mga supplements na ito, mas maganda ba bilhin ito than the actual thing?
Siguro pag-usapan natin the difference between supplement and the raw vegetables or the raw spices, etc. When we say supplement, some of these are already dehydrated, dried, no? So they only extract the active component, okay? So I think it is worth mentioning that some vegetables, some spices and herbs, they're better off as dehydrated or dried kasi mas active ang component nila. But some, they needed to be raw and fresh because of better activity. So depende po sa what kind of herbs, spices, or vegetables you're eating. So when we talk about supplements, more or less extracted na, meron na po siyang regulated amount, regulated yung number or dosage of the active component that you need for that particular spice or herb that you want to take in as supplements. The only difference is that the manufactured is merong grams, merong certain number of regulation or dosages, whereas the raw, hindi mo alam gaano karami na yung na-take in mo when you're taking the raw herb or raw spice.
Now, a lot of these supplements may pose some risk to the ones using, especially if that person has a lot of allergies. And some of these supplements also have strong effects towards the body. Dr. Candy, what can you advise those who want to try supplements because of their health benefits? How can you make them aware of some of the risks that may be involved?
Okay, so with any supplements, you have to consider them as if they're medication. It's not one supplement fits all. So there are specific supplements that you can take as part of your healthy diet There are some also that you cannot mix with your medication. So always consult with a physician that knows their stuff. There are a lot of doctors already now that are very familiar with the indications for certain herbs or certain supplements and contraindications as well. Kung pwede ba siya isabay sa pagkain, pwede ba siya isabay sa mga gamot ninyo. So you always have to consult your doctor first. Now, when it comes to choosing your supplements, of course, it's very important that it's well manufactured. So you look for the good manufacturing practice or GMP seal in your supplements as well. And of course, if it comes from a very reputable company, that's always better because they already have their processes in place to make sure that these supplements are as pure as they can be. So always consult with your physician before taking any of these supplements.
That was a very interesting conversation. Thank you very much for joining us. Family medicine specialist, Dr. Sheridan Oro Josef, and functional and integrative medicine specialist, Dr. Candy Drilon Dalman. We appreciate your time and joining us on this show. You've been eating the same healthy, boring meal every day. Give herbs and spices a try. Herbs and spices can make any meal come to life. Not only that, it can also improve your health in so many ways. We want to be your partner for a lifetime of good health. I'm Dr. Freddy Gomez, and this has been Med Talk Health Talk on CNN Philippines.